Hello there everyone and welcome back. We finally got the Battlebarge Mark II to level 5 and is one step closer to unlocking its true potential. Because quite frankly, it is basically just a level 10 Battlebarge right now with less crew upgrades. So it's not all that impressive just yet until we get ourselves another level, and with that level 6 I'm going to have, 2 possible upgrade slots, and then that's hopefully when this ship will really start to shine. And hell, with how much it was getting run down in the Space Marine mirror match last episode, I am a bit surprised this thing still survived. But, with that said, I want to try, get one more match in to get this thing maxed out, the Strike Cruiser with the Chapter Master, before I swap out my favors, and then that will leave my Vanguards in the Mark II, and occasionally get the Strike Cruisers in some of their matches, because they're already well underway to getting to level 8 regardless, so they're almost to the point where they're going to get the final upgrade, at least for the shields, and it still is a question whether the Frost Pattern shields actually worth getting or not, or if I should enhance their sensor range or get some other upgrades. Nonetheless, getting that level 8 is going to be pretty damn useful for their survivability. Not to mention the fact I probably want to swap out their skills, so at least then I have some recon beacons available from them. Because sticking a beacon on anything that's going to understandably try and run away from me is going to be pretty useful for my boarding torpedoes and of course long range bombardment cannon shots. But with that all said, let's continue on, shall we? Alright, we're fighting up against Solari again, and we're doing something a little bit different in the terms of orcs, no less. Fighting orcs, so without a doubt they have a lot of raw health, so lances are probably not the good way to go. I kind of have to try and cripple them really effectively. Which begs the question. It is assassination, so I could do the silly thing, because with what I see with his custodian and all that, he's probably going to just bum rush me and suicide run. So I'm kind of really tempted, I'm not going to lie, to just go with 4 strike cruisers. I could afford it. I actually could afford it there, but is that going to be much fun just to cower and run? I don't think so. I do want to play more of my 4 strike cruiser fleet, but if I were to go with 4 strike cruisers, it kind of demands I play more defensive and try to evade his close combat weaponry. Especially since, yeah, I'm going to assume, though, he has more like the torpedoes and bombers, in all honesty, or, well, the fighter bays. I'm going to go with that assumption, so with that said, I don't really have many units to deal with I don't have like any Thunderhawks to help deal with that fail. But I'm confident in this fleet there. It's just a matter of the battle barge. Is it able to handle all the weaponry that's probably going to go at it? I'm assuming torpedoes, so the big question is how do I deal with that? Because Mega Cans, I should be alright with a good brace for impact order. Gives me complete immunity against his Mega Cans no matter what. It's the torpedoes that can do a massive amount of burst damage, especially when I don't have fighters to help shoot them down. I'm going to be relying on a single battle barge worth of, Thunderhawks. And I don't have any debris to effectively shield me. Well, I actually have debris here. It's not much of debris, mind you. But I could use it to some extent to obscure his torpedoes a little bit. I don't think it's going to work very well. And this is a very awkward starting position, but I'm going to assume he's in the middle, and if he just randomly fires torpedoes into this, then at least I can dodge the first torpedo salvo. But I don't really have anywhere effective to hide at anyway, so let's try and do this. And with that said, let's try and fire torpedoes. That's not. He got some He did get some hits in with the shock attacks, but the debris is going to work nicely here, I'm hoping. I just need to somehow get vision for my Thunderhawks. Because he does have sap cannons, so he's going with the torpedo type route. And he did destroy the belt armor already. I wasn't watching for that there, unfortunately, but all I have to do, really... Well, can I just... Let's see. Let's try and spread out the damage, because he is burning all his saps. Now, well, What am I saying burning all his saps? I can brace for impact, that's still a useful idea. Well, if he wants to start running, that's fine. I just gotta make sure the damage is spread out and prepare for torpedoes, although launching the Cinderhawks may have been a bad idea. Now I'm gonna take these hits as gracefully as I can, minimize the damage. Can I rotate and just minimize this? I minimized it some, I just gotta start killing some of these things. Because once I'm into debris, I'm kind of okay. I don't think it's gonna help me with shooting my own torpedoes, mind you. But I can hit hard, and I have my own brace for impact available. Alright. So come on at me. Come on at me. Try and weaken his weaponry as much as possible. Although there's not really much to say there, I just burnt all my cogitators already. Now, get moving. Just use this wreckage as much as possible. And shield transfer. Kill his ships there, but try and keep this battle barge alive. Try and keep all my ships alive, ideally. Because he wants to sit there and fight, so he's missing out on an opportunity here. Especially if his shock attack's being burnt. So, not much more to really say, aside for I have shield transfers at the ready. Oh, he just dumbfired those in a panic. Do I micro warp jump? That sounds silly, but I could just straight up win this and dodge his torpedoes as a result. I just gotta remember to prioritize my weapons very well. Kill this Death Dealer. It's a mistake probably to do this. But do I have any more shield transfers? I don't. Now, I do have a brace for impact to help some. Yeah, I could have warped it out potentially, but come on, start moving, damn it. You don't have any ships in your way. There. Take the hits is all I need to do. It's actually going to burn to death. That's kind of sad. So I kind of need to kill these things now. Oh well. It was a good attempt, but he got so many burn results in there. So I'm probably just going to burn regardless. It was close. I could have won it there. Oh, actually. Yeah, his sap cans are going to kill me at this point because he ignores the shield. So this is still over despite the fact I have full shields. It should be over, but my strike cruisers could get in the way. This is still anyone's game. Takes torpedoes. Oh yeah, torpedoes do hit, damn it. Well, it was a mistake to micro warp jump, but hey. It wasn't exciting to just try and kite him all day, was it? The turn actually killed me, surprisingly. Turning into those torpedoes when my bombardment cannons were still getting the shots, because that was still very much close to a win there. I hesitated a little bit when I saw his saps getting through my shields there. But that's kind of sad. He just sits there like true orcs with torpedoes. Ah, well. That's not how you're supposed to fight with orcs. Just sit there all day. We gave him a good beating regardless, and now, unfortunately, if I were to try for a rematch, I'm more than likely going to have a hard time fighting him, since I'm going to be switching out the favors to my level 7 strike cruisers now. It is what that means, so it's still a question if the fast power shields are ideal. I wonder how that interaction works with fast power shields and the fact that sap cans can ignore my armor some. It might be better just to go with the extra deck. So I'm going to try that there, swap that out, swap out the favors, and start working towards... Oh, crew points. I was wondering what happened there. And swap the favors over to Avenger of Fullerus and the Righteous Fate. It doesn't really matter which I put on, but it gives me incentive now to actually start fielding these two ships. There. So we're all set. I do need to recondition so that way I can get value out of Dante. And also for Mephiston. There we go. We're all set now. I will repair the battle barge as well because I got plenty of renown to kind of throw around. It held in there pretty well. Hell, that could have still been a victory if I didn't fly into those torpedoes like I did. I just kept trying to turn this... fly away and let my strike cruiser, quite frankly, take the hits, because it did have brace for impact, so his ram would have done nothing. Although, if my battle barge or strike cruiser was to collide with the battle barge because of his boost, I could have still lost it there due to the lack of brace for impact. But it was still a close match regardless. Okay, so we have ourselves a mirror match now with Crooked, so this is going to get more interesting and interesting. So, I still would really like to do my 4 strike cruisers, considering the fact that it allows me to be more mobile for like a planetary assault. So if Crooked decides to ignore the objective, then I can just evade him a little bit. And if he does try to go for the objective, that means he's spread out, which means I could potentially punish him. And I did upgrade my strike cruisers to all have master gunners, so they're going to have pretty much guaranteed critical hits if I can get away with a lock-on. I am going to be, of course, having less bombardment cannons, since a battle barge 2 strike cruisers is 5 bombardment cannons as opposed to 4 on fielding, but I got 6 more torpedoes if I can hit with them, which, if he's feeling a battle barge of any kind, that's going to be really good. And I do have boring torpedoes for anything that's more mobile, arguably. I just lack Stormhawks again, which I did swap out the upgrades to finally have extra beacons, so this, in all honesty, may be a bit overkill, having 4 beacons, but 4 shield transfers, so I just gotta remember 2 of my strike cruisers don't actually have enhanced shields, which is going to be really damn necessary, really damn important for negating any critical hits he may have on me. The more time that he spends shooting down the shields, the less critical hits he basically gets, so that's going to be pretty good, and apparently he wasn't paying attention to the mission either, so I can live with that. I could definitely live with that. It's going to be fun playing with 4 strike cruisers again, but I have to somehow make it work, because I've had really bad luck fighting against Chaos with 4 strike cruisers, it seems like. The few times that I use them against a high-level Chaos fleet, so it could be that I didn't have the right upgrades. I sure as hell didn't have like the extra shields and shield transfers, so that was probably the biggest factor. But I do have 9,000 unit range, and I have a bunch of stasis bombs, so let me group these so that way I have easier access to them. If it even worked, yep, that worked. So this is exactly as it looks. So this looks like the battle barge in the middle. I just gotta be mindful that he could evade, although those torpedoes aren't likely to hit anyway. And I can't reveal myself because of boring torpedo potential. Hell, he's not even firing the boring torpedoes just yet. And I want him to kind of turn. I want him to stay away from the middle of the map. So having a nice tight clump is probably a bad idea ultimately, but I want him to stay away from the middle. Put him in, hopefully, in as uncomfortable spot as possible. Hell, let me reload. That's going to help a bit too. So we're going to shoot more to the right there, force him away. I'm not for the life of me actually expecting a hit, but I don't want him anywhere near the middle. Give me more breathing room, give me more space, and he has to stay in the corner of the map. Do I burn a stasis bomb though? Because I could burn it and force him next to this structure. Because he's sure as hell not going over here. Although my timers are a bit off because of lack of servitor upgrades. And any torpedoes I actually hit with is a good way to soften them up. Because that slows them down a tiny bit. The objective's about to come up. And he does have a Lance variant. Is that a Lance Battlebarge or just Lance Cruisers? Is the big question. I'll know in a moment. Because I have more of these available. So yeah, he's just firing Lances. And I do get torpedo hits of some kind. And do I fire boring torpedoes? I don't think I do. I could get away with it. Oh, one of my torpedoes didn't fire. So, did one of my torpedoes fire? It looks like one of them didn't fire and it bugged out again. I do have the advanced range, though. So kill the shields and give it a hard time. Let him have the objective. I just gotta make sure these things get punished hard. Because without a doubt, if he gets in super aggressive, then I can punish it. Alright. Kill one of these things because he is affording his lock on. Okay, he's trying to bore me, although joke's on you. I don't think I actually bored you. Although now I gotta make sure he doesn't get an easy time with this thing. Come on. Fire torpedoes. Deny him the focus fire. That's all I really need to do, and sadly not much I could do about the Thunderhawks, or besides making sure they don't get their ideal damage potential. Oh yeah, he still had the boarding up. So he did deny 3 boarding attempts there that I didn't want, but it's still looking promising. And let's try and make things a little bit awkward for him. Because now we can hurt his ships, and I do have shield transfers available still. Come on, warp it out. You know you want to. You know you want to. Now focus our attention on the Battlebarge. Did it fire torpedoes? Yeah, I fired torpedoes right behind me. They are boring torpedoes, so that's fine. Alright, go after it. Boring torpedoes are about to give you a hard time. Where's the second objective? It's not up yet, quite frankly, so I don't think I have to worry. Your prow is gone, so that's a big deal with your firepower there. So, can I get any good torpedo hits? I could get some good boarding hits, though. And without his lack of brace for impact, that's not a big deal. Alright. Give me what I want there. You burnt your lock on. That was a foolish mistake. Because now I can punish with 55, 56 armor, whatever I got there. And you can't... And with as far as RAM is concerned, you can't really negate this torpedo damage. There. Oh, he shot down most of those torpedoes immediately. That sucks. Nah, I don't think we'll allow it. Can I get the torpedo hit I want? Unfortunately not. I'm going to hit myself in a moment, so that sucks. That was a bad shot. But, so he gets the second objective. He's not out of the woods yet, though. This battle's all about over. I just got to deter him from trying to run away. So anything denies engines, because he could still get lucky. And we don't want him to get lucky, right? I think that's safe to say, although my torpedoes are refusing to fire. I am auto-casting torpedoes, mind you, but they should do the damage they need to. I just gotta get critical hits on the engines. I would like critical hits on the engines. Come on, attach the target. Oh, it bugged out on me again, didn't it? Come on. There. Chase him, kill him. Nah, probably not. Although I canceled your warp, so I think it's dead anyway. Alright, those were bad torpedoes, mainly because of autocast, so can I fire a dumbfire torpedo? No, it's because of the reload. Whenever I do the reload, it kind of messes with the cooldown timers, so it looked like I had torpedoes, but then they didn't work. Alright, so those torpedoes are useless. I might let them go. I could warp out if the bombardment mechanics will let them. Nope, it didn't make it out. And the objective was quite a ways away there, so he wasn't lucky that time. They would have to pretty much be right on top of him almost for him to get that, but the gambit did not pay off. I managed to punish him at least nicely enough with him charging into the first objective there. I was caught a little bit flat-footed by the second objective, because otherwise I would have had my fleeing strike cruiser in a better position to maybe intercept, at least force him to ram my strike cruiser, because I think I had a brace for impact up at that time. It's hard to say because I had 4 strike cruisers and I had to keep track of all their orders, but I really do need to remember to use my reload at the very beginning, so that way I can take full advantage of, well, the torpedoes mostly, as far as the strike cruisers are concerned. It doesn't honestly help me in any other regard aside from micro warp jumps for, like, my Battlebarge. Otherwise, with torpedoes, if I can get away with that early on, especially if we're both on the opposite sides of the map, that does give me time to fire those torpedoes, because deterring him from a position I don't want him to go to is still handy, and it worked out well in that case there. With the combination of the stasis bomb as well as the torpedoes, I actually even got a good handful of torpedo hits in. I just wasn't expecting a bunch of lance cruisers, because those things are dirt cheap, especially with a battle barge, because 139 points versus my, what is it, 147, so he's basically saving 10 points each. It doesn't do him much, sadly, here, because he still couldn't afford a frigate, mind you. But, nonetheless, it was a fun match. Well, this is going to be interesting. We have a 600-point cruiser clash against Eldar fleet. Fungus, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. I would like to try something a little bit different than dive with my vanguards in there. I just have absolutely no idea what's the right choice, because, again, he's going to have a good amount of bonus points, which is enough to justify more pulsars and torpedoes for him, or bombers rather. But I really do want to work on a second way to fight Eldar, and with shield transfers I do have some more durability. The torpedoes are probably going to suck. Boarding torpedoes could be an annoyance. I honestly don't know. I feel really comfortable with the vanguards, but it's probably not the right idea, but I need experience with them anyway. So let's do that. He is going to have the additional numbers anyway, but so far this has been working, so if nothing else, let's try refine this strategy, refine this fleet. Be more consistent about using my Stormhawks to defend and deny his bombers, as well as being able to watch for his bombers, so that way I can time them with my Thunderhawks. Because there have been some issue points, of course, with how frantic I'm trying to chase him there, that I've been forgetting about refreshing him. Because launching him too early could be a mistake, because then I just fight his own fighters, and they don't do what I want of them. Especially if he's going with a pulsar attack run, that's entirely possible, that my fighters just shoot down his fighters, which is more for defensive purposes. So I want to focus on his bombers, because in all honesty, that's his biggest weapon. Eldar don't like to keep close with me, especially when I have the mobility. And this is a relatively open space. I just gotta make sure this gas cloud he cannot utilize to his full potential. And I also have what? 6 Gladiuses. So how do we want to do this for formation? I can have 2 on the side of the vanguards, and that gives me 1 more for the back. Or can I just go with 4? Yeah, 4 in the front row, 4 in the back. Let me just make sure the groups are set up properly. Let's do that. And he's got 10 ships, so maybe this is not going to be terrible after all. I don't have to deal with heavy cruisers, mind you, but what I want to do is have them crisscrossed a little bit, so that way my boarding torpedoes are a little more effective. Because when I tried launching them or auto-attacking a target behind me, it didn't work as well. For obvious reasons, because they were hitting my Gladiuses, so this will help alleviate that some. But we don't have a bunch of cruisers to deal with, and I have the frigates and firepower to help deal with them. It's just a matter of getting really good value out of any silent runs if I can get away with that to deny bombers immediately. Worst case, make sure I brace for impact whatever he's focusing, and everything else will lock on besides my two vanguards. Because, let's see, we got cruiser there, possibly an eclipse. And we have, well, let me do this proper. I don't want them to start intruding each other's movement. But I have extended sensor range, and if I can attack these 4 ships while these other ones are not in a good position, that's ideal. That's definitely ideal for me because he can't really burst me down really effectively. I just gotta hold off on the Stormhawks till the last moment because I don't want to give him time to prepare to strike at my vanguards. I want him to have to guess a little bit. And also prioritize. I probably should go after this because that is the bigger threat, and destroying those bombers or denying those bombers is really good. So let's just go right in, shall we? Focus everything. I'm waiting for the bombers. Oh, he's only level 2, but his fighters are coming out, but of course they're coming after my fighters, which is a bit of a problem, and I don't have any kind of... that was Silent Run. That wasn't what I wanted. It was a bit rushed, mind you, but I was hoping for a brace for impact. Now, just ram everything. There, and I still have my boosters available, and we're still focusing down this one cruiser. So, maybe I oversaw it, but again, trying to refine the tactics is still a big deal, regardless of which Eldar fleet I'm fighting against. Because if I can watch, because right now I just want to watch. Well, he's just sitting there and letting me shoot him, so let's just finish this off, shall we? Brace for impact on everything, and just try and kill off some of these cruisers. Yeah, because that cruiser's immediately dead. His pulsars are firing. His ships are exploding. So yeah. And also, let's just micromanage this as best we can. Especially now his one cruiser's gone. So yeah, maybe I oversaw it a little bit, but at least the idea is still a genuine one, is to try and refine what's actually working with this fleet. Even if it is a bit one-sided with him just making it easy with my weaponry to hit him. And I still have lock-on to help with this some anyway. Not exactly exciting. Not as exciting as I would have liked, but it shows what a lot of macro batteries, especially turrets, mind you, can do for you. Because my vanguards almost did nothing, aside from maybe the Thunderhawks managed to get a successful board in. Because I want to say those boarding torpedoes did absolutely nothing, but with them floating there, they may have very well hit the shadow like I wanted. Well, not really much to learn there, but it is about refining the play, refining the tactics some. Because I really do like having the Gladiuses there, if nothing else to be like bait and draw fire. And if I can be really good at minimizing the amount of brace for impacts, while not making myself super fragile against massive pulsars and bombers, because a single shadow can very easily just immediately kill a Gladius. If he needs 5? Yeah, 5 bombers, assuming they don't get through the armor there, and that's from a single shadow. So I definitely would like Thunderhawks and Stormhawks to help shoot them down, to help assure that. And brace for impact obviously should make that almost a guarantee that he would have to commit a second shadow or even a Void Stalker or Eclipse with their bombers to help out. So at least he can't get multiple kills in an instant there with those Gladiuses. If I perform that properly, it just begs the question on how do I compound on my advantage there. Getting aggressive and ramming him is definitely good because he still has 25 armor, and if I brace for impact on any of my ships, including the frigates, they're going to do more damage to him than they are going to be to me, especially with the brace for impact. So getting super aggressive is ideal. It's a matter of how to effectively chase him down. It shouldn't be too difficult, mind you, so it's a lot of what I'm saying is mostly me just overthinking it, but better safe than sorry in all honesty. Alright, we have a rematch with Solare, and this time I kind of know what to expect. It just begs the question on how do I want to do this, because it was looking like a victory there, or I would want to argue, with the assassination mission. I just decided to keep my Battlebarge in when it was probably not needed, as far as actually winning. Although, with sap cannons, vanguards are really susceptible to getting annihilated, especially with him ignoring shields, so we're going to stick with our tried and true. We do have weaker strike cruisers, which could be a bit of a downside. And I did run into our Eldar friend again, which is why the strike cruiser made level 8. I want to try and do a 4 strike cruiser fleet, but really try and practice how they would fare against Eldar, but he just avoided me. He just let me warp on out an assassination mission. So there wasn't much really exciting going on there, and I sadly didn't get the practice and experience I would like trying to fight with my strike cruisers, because they all had shield transfers and had all available. So you think there would have been some value, or at least they would have been able to weather the pulsar shots really well. Not so much the bombers due to lack of Thunderhawks, let alone Stormhawks. So nonetheless, with that said, I know what he's fielding. It's just a question of how can I get aggressive. I can easily fire boring torpedoes. That alleviates so much of my problems, honestly. I can kill off 2 of those beacons really quickly, really well. I just gotta find good position. So that way, maybe I can use that structure to kind of deny some of his torpedoes. I'm just not gonna have my Thunderhawks available. That's a bit of a problem. And I'm gonna have the boring torpedoes start shooting at the right. Just so, because that, again, that structure is in my way. So I don't want to take the chance that they're just not gonna hit. And I have a good posture here. This structure will kind of deflect a lot of his torpedoes if I position myself well. And if I'm really lucky, maybe those beacons will die from the first salvo or 2. Because then I could take out those 2 beacons relatively quickly. And I still am on a bit of a clock here, especially with me relying on this Battlebarge to kind of slow me down a little bit. Also, let's remember to reload. I have time for this. I have some time for this. Let's just hope it doesn't bug out again and really throw off my torpedoes like it kind of just did now. At least it felt like it did. So, that doesn't help your torpedoes very much. Hell, I would argue now you're forced to repair before my second salvo of torpedoes hit you. Oh well. That gives me some more breathing space really quickly. And now where's that beacon going? Oh, I don't have to do anything. I am in a bit of a rock and a hard place, mind you, with this asteroid belt here, but that kills them off really quick. Just kill off these beacons. That will deal with them quickly. Gives me the breathing room, and he doesn't have any stasis bombs to kind of get value out of those sap towers. Although, anytime you want to start moving, stop bugging out on here. If I'm really lucky, maybe I don't get spot. The Battlebarge could get... Oh, even better. Even more better. Now, I heard a second beacon. So let's keep on moving. I should be able to dodge that really well. The Battlebarge might be in a bit of an awkward predicament, but if it could keep turning, we're good. Oh, I am so lucky, aren't I? Now, why aren't you moving? I don't know why that bugged out on me. I clearly had an objective and I want to go for it. Alright, so this might hurt a little bit. Not too much, so long as I have a good narrow arc. Hell, none of the okay, one hit me, and we shot down all the other ones, so I'm good here. So long as I remember to control these ships properly. I am messing up the control some. And I am ready to deal with them. So that will deter them as we go for the objective, and then I can just get ready to move. Because he needs to dodge that, without a doubt. I just gotta be careful. My strike cruisers are in a bit of an awkward spot. And I could easily silent run. Hell, I don't need a silent run. I could just use this asteroid belt. So let's get ready for the hits and try and get ready to do damage. I am going to have to burn a repair. So, brace for impact is up. That will help alleviate some of that damage. Okay, board me all you want. Because now I know what I'm doing to stay hidden. Now, I have to fight him and do damage. Come on, keep moving. You're not getting zapped anymore. In fact, let's start doing that, shall we? Although, did I just... Yeah, I just micro-warp jumped right into that. So that's a little unfortunate, but... I could still dodge it. Come on, come at me. So... Time to get moving. I did burn my abilities there some, but so long as I start hitting, that's not an issue. Because I got the first objective really easily. And now start dealing with his dang boarding torpedoes, or what he has in mind. And start damaging. Oh, that was a bad turn. I thankfully only got hit by one torpedo, but that's good. Now start firing and dealing damage with these things. And let's see, mutiny. That's all good. Just make him miserable. That's the idea. I just gotta be mindful of dang torpedoes. And I do have another brace for impact available. So that mitigated a lot of that damage. Now, punish these ships and start killing them. This gets easier the less of his ships he has. So, let's do this then, shall we? Now, do I prioritize that? I want to focus on this Death Dealer. Especially if I'm panicking now. So, you keep on going, maybe get a ram in. I would like to ram you. Okay. You do that. Now, don't hit myself would be ideal result. Because he's taken a lot of damage and my prow unfortunately is gone. So this thing is basically for moral support. And shields are up. Torpedoes are up. Kill the ones with the prow. And while this thing soaks a lot of the firepower, here's hoping. So, this is going to hurt some. I could kill this. It is spraying a lot of the damage out, mind you, but with this having no weaponry, I'm kind of limited anyway, even with the belt armor. I just got to make sure I'm getting more value out of my other orders. That is the hope anyway. I haven't used my shield transfers very well either, but I got repairs. Yeah, this is unfortunately it's not going as well as I like, and there's an objective right there I can grab. So, you are going to take these torpedo hits. You're going to make the ultimate sacrifice. And hopefully we... Oh, we're going to kill that just fine. It's going to burn to death, and we could deal with the Death Dealer. If I'm so lucky. No, those torpedoes aren't going to hit, aren't they? Yeah, I did that wrong. But I do have brace for impact. I can still get this objective, although my engines are down too. And if Thunderhawks can dodge or shoot them down, that'd be great too. 18 seconds I'm not going to get, unfortunately. And I do have brace for impact to soak some of that damage, but I didn't execute that the best. A little unfortunate. You figured I had a good opening there at first. Of course, losing the prow doesn't help much. That was close. I pretty much lost it now, unfortunately. So, what could I have improved there considering how well it was going on in the beginning? Since after all, I could have won the first match when all he had to do was destroy a single ship. So, what went wrong there, in all honesty? I didn't really fire my torpedoes all that much. Well, I had no real opportunity to shoot my torpedoes at his ships is more what I'm trying to say. Not that I really had many torpedoes to begin with. And I didn't really get many windows to get effective boarding torpedoes because I was always at an awkward angle trying to shoot with macro cannons as well. There's a lot of uncertainties there, but of course, shooting down his beacons basically meant I couldn't fire torpedoes at him regardless to kind of soften him up, which is really important if I'm going to fight a war of attrition with orcs. So having those beacons did make things difficult. And of course, grabbing the first objective, didn't really help matters much either because my strike cruisers were kind of flying away. And I did have a brace for impact up for the asteroid belt, so I absorbed some lance damage there, and I didn't really take any damage from the asteroid belt, so that was a non-factor. If anything, it just helped me stay hidden, so that was a good play there. I don't think that was any negative. So, just wondering there, because we know for a fact of how it went before, although maybe if I had gotten more boarding attempts, and of course more critical hits, because I don't think I focused the weapons very well again, because destroying the prow is significant on the orcs as well as it was for me, with my poor chapter master losing out on his bombardment cannons, so it was pretty limping and pretty useless for a good portion of that fight as well. So hard to say.